So can you see my slide?
Yes, sir.
So today I shall discuss how to calculate electron and hole concentrations at equilibrium condition. So for this we need to know the Fermi-Dirac probability function and density of states function. So the Fermi distribution function. It can be used to calculate the both electron and hole concentrations in a semiconductor when the semiconductor is in thermodynamic equilibrium. So uh, we assume that Ne into dE, it actually denotes the density of states per unit volume in the energy interval between E and E plus dE. So Ne into dE, it is equal to density of states per unit volume in the energy range dE. If we multiply this with the Fermi-Dirac probability function, that is Fe, we get the actual number of electrons per unit volume in the energy range dE. So Ne into Fe into dE gives the number of electrons per unit volume in the energy range dE. So if you know that the lowest energy occupied state by electrons in the conduction band, that is EC. EC is the lowest energy, and you can go up to infinity. So therefore, the total electron concentration, uh, this is per unit volume in the conduction band, that is equal to N0, 0 for equilibrium, is equal to, if we integrate this expression within the limits from EC to infinity. That means integration EC to infinity, Fe into Ne into dE. So this density of states function is calculated, by using this quantum mechanics and the Pauli exclusion principle. And for this bulk semiconductor, you know that the density of states function, it varies with the square root of the energy. And you have seen the variation of Fe with energy, that is here. You see that the Fe decreases actually rapidly with increasing energy beyond E equal to Ef. So therefore, you can see that Fe decreases rapidly, and so does Fe into Ne with increasing energy above EC, conduction bandage. So therefore, you will find that very few electrons that will occupy the energy states beyond EC. So now, for the purpose of simplification, we assume that all the distributed electron states in the conduction band is are located at the conduction band edge, and if we replace it by this effective density of states function, that is equal to NC, and the result of the integration will not differ much. So therefore, I have written here the result of integration is the same as that obtained if we represent all the distributed electron states in the conduction band by an effective density of states NC located at EC. Therefore, this integration will reduce to a simple form, this N0 equal to NC into F of EC. So what we assumed? We assumed that actually what happens in the conduction band, there will be different electronic states distributed distributed all over the energy starting from EC to infinity. But we are assuming that all the distributed electron states in the conduction band by an effective density of states NC located at SC, EC. So therefore, this integration n0 equal to integration from EC to infinity Fe Ne dE, it will reduce to this simple form. This is n0 that is equal to Nc into f of EC, and it is justified because the variation of Fe like this. So the Fe uh, is unity when energy is very small. Means when actually we are considering energy values in the vicinity of EC, and Fe decreases rapidly with the increasing energy, and ultimately it asymptotically goes to zero. So therefore, actually, you will not find any electron at a higher energy because the Fe will reduce to zero, approximately zero. So therefore, you can assume this type of approximation because all the states will be occupied in the vicinity of EC only. As you go in the higher state, there you will find seldom any electron there. So therefore, if we actually use this Fermi-Dirac probability function, that means EC minus EF, it is a few kT, so that f of EC that is equal to 1 by 1 plus EC minus EF by kT, and it is this exponential factor in the denominator is much higher as compared to unity. Therefore, you can neglect this one as compared to the exponential term and take it in the above with a minus sign. So f of EC it is approximately equal to e to the power minus EC minus EF divided by kT. So the electron concentration of electrons in the conduction band, this is n0 equal to Nc e to the power EC minus EF by kT. This EC minus EF is always here. It is positive because we have considered low or moderate level of doping. So the effective density of states is expressed as Nc equal to twice into twice pi m e star. That means effective mass of an electron. K is the Boltzmann constant. T is the temperature in absolute scale divided by h square. H is the Planck's constant whole to the power 3 by 2. So up to now, is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will consider the whole concentration. That means empty states, number of empty states per unit volume. That means the whole concentration. So how can you calculate? F of EV means the occupied states, and you know that the occupied state and vacant states means n empty states. The probability of vacant states and the probability of occupied states, if you sum it, it will be equal to unity. So, in order to obtain the vacant states, the probability function will be 1 minus f of EV, because f of EV means it is actually indicates the probability of occupied states. So how can you find the empty states? It is equal to 1 minus f of EV. So therefore, the whole concentration can be obtained in the valence band in a similar fashion as we actually determined the electron concentration in the conduction band, but you have to use the probability a function of empty states in this way: 1 minus f of EV. And NV is analogous to NC. NV is the effective density of states in the valence band. So hole concentration, equilibrium hole concentration in the valence band, that is denoted by P0, it is equal to NV into probability of empty states, that is 1 minus f of EV. So is it clear to all of you? Fermi distribution
Yes,
function,
sir.
it indicates, it gives you the probability of occupancy, of means the states which are occupied by electrons. So in order to find the vacant states or empty states, you have to subtract it from the total probability. That means 1 minus f of EV. That is actually, in this way you can find the whole concentration in the valence band. So now you need to find the probability of finding an empty state at EV is 1 minus f of EV. That means 1 minus 1 upon 1 plus e to the power EV minus EF divided by KT. Here also you make the same assumptions that you can neglect one with respect to the exponential term, and then you will arrive at this equation, that is e to the power minus EF minus EV by KT. And you must note that this EF minus EV, that is much much higher than KT. So therefore, in a simplified form, this whole concentration can be given by P0 equal to NV e to the power minus EF minus EV by KT, where NV equal to 2 into 2 pi mh star KT by h cross square whole to the power 3 by 2. mh star, it is the effective mass for holes. So is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So these electron and hole concentrations are valid whether the material is intrinsic or extrinsic, means doped. So only condition is that the semiconductor must be in thermodynamic equilibrium, and therefore for intrinsic semiconductor, you must remember that EF, that is Fermi level, it must lie at some intrinsic level, and it is denoted by EI. And usually it is located near the middle of the band gap, but it is not necessarily at the exactly middle position, and it will be discussed later. So EI is uh, usually in the middle position, but it is not exactly at the middle position. It depends on other factors. I'll discuss it. So here the intrinsic electron concentration or hole concentration, it can be given by Ni equal to Nc e to the power minus Ec minus Ei divided by Kt. Here minus is given outside this bracket because to make this quantity positive, Ec minus Ei is positive. Ec is in general at a higher level as compared to Ei. So therefore, actually, this quantity is negative, and you can see from this expression that Ni must be less than Nc, because e to the power minus some positive quantity. That means it is a fraction. Therefore, the Ni is less than Nc. For example, you know the Ni for silicon at room temperature, it is on the order of 10 to the power 10 per cc, whereas Nc is on the order of 10 to the power 19. So, there is much less, Ni is much less, on the order of say ninth order less as compared to NC. Similarly, PI, intrinsic carrier concentration, is NV. NV into e to the power minus of EI minus EV divided by KT. EI is also at a higher position as compared to EV. Again, this quantity within the bracket is positive, but outside it is a negative side. So therefore, power exponential power, uh, it is overall power is negative. Therefore, you can easily easily conclude that Pi is also much less than NV. So now, if we uh, actually see the equilibrium electron concentration and equilibrium hole concentration in case of say extrinsic material, so N0 into P0, that is equal to Nc, and instead of this EI we must write EF for extrinsic material, but the form, this mathematical form will remain the same. So in case of intrinsic material we will write EI, in case of extrinsic material we will write EF, Fermi level. So N0 into P0, that is equal to Nc e to the power minus Ec minus Ef by Kt into Nv, that is for P0 Nv e to the power minus Ef minus Ev divided by Kt. So Ef will go out, and you will leave with Nc into Nv e to the power minus Ec minus Ev by Kt. You know the difference between conduction bandage and valence bandage. It is nothing but the band gap of the material. So therefore, N0 into P0 is equal to Nc into Nv e to the power minus Eg by Kt. So from this, you can also guess that the product will be higher as the band gap is lower, and it is actually related exponentially. So in this way, you can also find the product of the carrier concentrations in silicon, and the same quantity for germanium, and you can compare also. So intrinsic electron concentration Ni and intrinsic hole concentration Pi can be given by Nc into e to the power minus Ec minus Ei by Kt, Nv e to the power minus Ei minus Ev by Kt. Again, it is equal to Nc Nv into e to the power minus Eg by Kt. Now you know that for intrinsic material, the electron concentration must be equal to hole concentration because there is no impurity. So, uh, uh, for each electron in the conduction band, there will be an empty state in the valence band. Therefore, the electron concentration must be equal to the hole concentration in case of an intrinsic material. So, if you equate these two quantities, that means N0 into P0, it is always equal to Ni square. So the material, whether it is extrinsic or intrinsic, this relationship will hold good. So on the left hand side, it is the quantity corresponding to the extrinsic quantity material, that is N0, if we consider n-type semiconductor. So N0 will be much higher as compared to its minority carrier concentration P0, but their product will be equal to Ni square, means intrinsic carrier concentration square of intrinsic carrier concentration. So using this formula, you can calculate uh, the uh, minority or majority carrier concentration in case of extrinsic material by using this relationship. Only you must know the two quantities, and the third quantity find can be found from this relationship. So here you see an interesting result, that is Ni for silicon at 300 degree Kelvin, that is 1.5 into 10 to the power 10 per cc. So when Nc equal to Nv, Ei equal to Eg by 2. That means Ei lies at the exactly at the middle of the band gap. But in general, the effective mass of holes is not equal to the effective mass of electrons. Therefore, EI does not lie exactly in the midgap. That I already mentioned earlier. That EI is usually in the middle position, but it is not exactly in the midgap of the forbidden gap, because of the difference in the effective mass of electrons and holes. This is the main reason why EI means intrinsic Fermi level is not uh, at the exact middle position of the band gap. So there is another convenient way of representing the carrier concentration, extrinsic carrier concentration N0, uh, using this intrinsic carrier concentration. N0 is the Ni e to the power Ef minus Ei divided by kT. Similarly, P0 equal to Ni e to the power Ei minus Ef by kT. So if you have any question, you can ask me so far.
No, sir. I think it's clear.
Okay. Now it is an example. A silicon sample is doped with 10 to the power 17 arsenic atoms per cc. That means arsenic means it is a pentavalent element. That is why the silicon is N-type silicon. It is an extrinsic semiconductor and type is N-type. What is the equilibrium hole concentration? Means minority carrier concentration at 300 degree Kelvin. Where is the EF relative to EI? See, it is a very interesting question. Uh, so you know that the intrinsic carrier concentration in silicon is on the order of 10 to the power 10 per cc, and the doping is 10 to the power 17. Therefore, this doping concentration is much higher as compared to intrinsic carrier concentration. So since ND means it is the entire semiconductor, means the impurities are donors. So ND is much greater than Ni, and we can write that the electron concentration, that means equilibrium electron concentration, is equal to Nd, means donor concentration. We assume that all donors are ionized at room temperature, and it is justified, and that is equal to 10 to the power 17 per cc. And you know the formula, that is N0 into P0 is equal to Ni square. It always holds good provided that semiconductor is in equilibrium, thermodynamic equilibrium. So therefore P0 is equal to 2 point, this is 1.5 into 10 to the power 10 whole square, and that is 2.25 into 10 to the power 20 divided by N0, that is 10 to the power 17. So therefore P0 is equal to only 2.25 into 10 to the power 3. See the difference per cc. The electron concentration is 10 to the power 17 order of 10 to the power 17. And what is the minority hole concentration? It is on the order of 3 only. So there is a difference on the order of 14. So therefore, we neglect this minority carrier concentration many times. So this contribution is very less. So now EF minus EI, it is equal to KT ln N0 by Ni, and it comes about, this is a log to the base E. It is 0.407 electron volt. So here in this picture, in this figure, it is clearly shown the position, the top horizontal line indicates it is actually EC, or the bottom of the conduction band, and at the bottom EV is shown, and usually in the middle position this dash and dotted line, it indicates the EI, position of EI, and EF is displaced from EI by an amount of 0.407 electron volt. So it is the complete band diagram of a N-type semiconductor, which is doped with 10 to the power 17 donor impurities. So is it clear, this diagram, band diagram, and also calculations?
Yes, sir.
Any other? Gorango?
Yes, sir.
So no question.
No, sir.
So now I'll discuss the variation of carrier concentration with temperature. So it is very important. We'll consider N-type semiconductor. So at a very low temperature, means the it is below 100 degree Kelvin. So it is a very low temperature. So here on the y-axis, you see it is the electron concentration, free electron concentration, and along the x-axis, it is 1000 by T. T is the temperature of the semiconductor in absolute scale. 1000 by T. This unit is chosen in such a way so that we can get some integer. So 1000 divided by 100, that means 10. So beyond 10 means low temperature. So it is low temperature, and you know that at very low temperature we find negligible amount of electron hole pairs, and all the donors are not ionized. So because the thermal energy is less, so they cannot ionize all the donors. Therefore, you will find some incomplete ionization of donors. So therefore, we cannot write Nd plus equal to Nd. And under this situation, we must write Nd plus must be less than Nd. So is it clear? The thermal energy is not sufficient to energize all the donor impurities in the semiconductor. Therefore, we'll find some kind of incomplete ionization. Means donor concentration must be less than the ionized donors. Means the donors which are capable of sending their electrons or donate their electrons to the conduction band. So therefore, you will find the less number of electrons which are available for conduction in the conduction band. So this region is called the ionization region, and it is shown by this capital A. And also you can say this is the region of incomplete ionization. So when this 1000 by T is more than 10, that means you are reaching at a low temperature regime, and where you will find this ionization region, and in this region incomplete ionization takes place, and we can say here that the number of means the concentration of donor ions is less than the donor concentration. So in this region, ionization region, as designated by A, N, this T is small, and exponential ED is the donor ionization energy divided by KT is much less than unity, and therefore ND plus is much less than ND. An electron, free electron concentration N, that is equal to Nd plus, plus P, it indicates the electrical neutrality condition is satisfied because the semiconductor is as a whole electrically neutral. Therefore, free electron concentration must be equal to ionized donor concentration plus hole concentration. And as you know that the whole concentration is much less as compared to ionized donor concentration. Therefore, N is approximately equal to Nd plus. And as temperature increases, you see that the curve rises. That means more and more donors are being ionized and they are offering electrons to the conduction band. They are donating electrons to the conduction band, and thereby these immobile donor ions will be, their immobile ions will be increasing, and therefore this graph is going in the upward direction as temperature rises. That means you are coming towards the origin. So now I come to the region B, means when a temperature is say 100 degree Kelvin to twice means 500 degree Kelvin. So once all the donors are ionized, there is no donor left. So therefore, the electron concentration will remain at the same level. Say here it is 10 to the power 15. So this region is designated by B and it is called the extrinsic region. So the electron concentration will remain at a constant level because all donors are already ionized. Uh, so there is no donor left unionized. So we can call this region as the extrinsic range. And here we can write Nd plus equal to Nd. That means all donors are ionized. So the electron concentration is equal to Nd plus and it is equal to Nd. And this temperature is say from 100 degree Kelvin to around 500 degree or 450 degree Kelvin. So next is the very interesting region that is called the intrinsic range. So as we further increase the temperature of the sample, what happens? There will be huge amount of thermal energy and that will generate electrons from the valence band, and electron hole pairs will be generated, and the intrinsic carrier concentration will supersede the donor concentration, and therefore there will be an exponential rise, a steep rise in the electron concentration, and this is designated by denoted by C, and this region is intrinsic region. So in the intrinsic region, you will find the huge thermal energy, and that will generate electron hole pairs, and this intrinsic carrier concentration will supersede the extrinsic carrier concentration, and it will follow this mathematical relationship NIT is equal to twice into twice pi kt by h square whole to the power 3 by 2. Me means effective mass of electrons into effective mass of holes, whole to the power 3 by 4 exponential minus Eg by 2 kt. So here kt means this thermal energy is on the order of the band gap, and Ni is much greater than Nd. So this region is called intrinsic region, and it happens at a very high temperature, say 1000 degree Kelvin, or more than that, 1050, 500, 1500 degree Kelvin temperature. If the semiconductor actually exists at a higher temperature, So we can go up to that temperature. Semiconductor must withstand with that higher temperature. So first is the low temperature, that means ionization region. After that, we uh, come across this extrinsic region where electron concentration does not vary with rising temperature, but it is valid till say T equal to 450 degree or something like this. And up beyond this, if we rise the temperature of the sample, there will be huge amount of generation of electron hole pairs, and intrinsic carrier concentration will dominate over the extrinsic this impurity concentration, and this region is called the intrinsic region. Uh, this graph actually shows the variation of carrier concentration with temperature. So is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes,
so
sir.
far, okay. So far, next I'll take your class on Friday. If there is
Okay,
no
sir.
other meeting or something like this. So if there is any emergency meeting, then I'll tell you. So have you got the reading materials from me?
Sir, you have sent the first five materials, but you have not sent yet the this one and the previous one.
Previous one, no? Okay, okay. No, this
Yes.
one I'll send you. And
Yes,
the
sir.
previous
Not this
lecture
one,
you
the
have not
previous one.
got it. Okay, okay. And you send your attendance, okay?
Okay, sir.
The CR, okay. Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.